Tashi Dele Kukam-sang, I'm Julika, Kama children, and some of you have asked, how do you maintain 6 languages? Which is true, I do speak 6 languages and you need to maintain them if you want to keep them sort of accessible in your brain. The longer you don't speak a language, I don't know if you've noticed, it kind of goes towards the back of your brain and it's like really hard to pick it back out. It only comes back out through practice. So of course, German, I maintain it because I'm a mother speaker and I live in Germany, so that's my mother tongue. And it's easy for me to maintain that, of course, which if you live in your own country where you speak the language that's your mother tongue, you can maintain it merely by that, for sure. My second language, as you know, is Italian, and I maintain Italian by going frequently to Italy to visit my friends. Luckily, I live very south in Germany, so very close to Switzerland. I can take the train from here, and in 3.5 hours, I am in northern Italy, which is where I grew up. And I do still have a lot of friends there. There's also a Buddhist community where I like to go to. And whenever you are in Italy, if you just know a little bit the language, it's super easy to talk to the people. And therefore you can practice your Italian fairly easily. Something else that I like to do sometimes is to read a book in Italian, or also to watch something in Italian, like a movie, for instance. Italian movies, there are some which are really great. So that's one other thing I do. And then with English, English is a language that's present for me for many years now, even though I have never lived in England or in the States or in any other English-speaking country. However, all the things I've been studying, they are mainly conveyed in English. Like when I was studying Buddhism, for instance, in Nepal, then and here are our lovely sheep. Hi, Kale. I would study a lot in English or in Tibetan. And also when I was in university, our study program was sometimes in English. And of course, you have to read a lot of academic papers that are in English or write academic papers in English. And right now at the moment, I'm studying somatic psychology, and that's also in English. So, and my mindfulness teacher training was also in English. So, you know, there are a lot of things that I just basically studied and deepened in English. So that's how I maintain that. And then Tibetan. Tibetan is a language that I maintain by translating when I work as an interpreter or translator for a Tibetan Lama, a meditation teacher. I do practice the language, which is something that I do also here in Europe. And then by speaking with my Tibetan friends through the phone or chatting with them. And of course, by going to Asia from time to time. And one other thing I really love to do is I have a few Tibetan friends here and there, and some of them own Tibetan restaurants. So I like to go there, and then whenever I go there, I can talk with them in Tibetan, of course. Hey, amore, hoilo. Ciao, ciao. Hello, my love. This is Kalle, he's super sweet. I just got a fresh haircut. Yes. Anyway, they're so cute. And where were Tibetan? That's how I maintain my Tibetan. And then sometimes I read sutras also, some Buddhist sutras or some Buddhist prayers, and they are in Tibetan, so that's also great. And then how I maintain my French. My French is, I live close to France, and it's very easy to go there because it's just an hour and a half from here by car or by train. And I go there sometimes to meet a friend or other friends, and I have also some friends there who are in a Christian community, and I go to the sermons sometimes with them to the church, and we pray together, and you hear a lot of French. Or when I go to Buddhist centers in France, there are a lot of Buddhist centers in France, so I have a lot of knowledge of French in the Buddhist context, actually. And sometimes I also listen, like on YouTube, to these sermons from these churches. They have some very, very nice things to listen to, and also songs, like these songs that they sing in this community. You can learn a lot from the French versions. And yeah, so that's like really one great way as well as reading also some books sometimes, or magazines. In the past, I remember I like to buy some magazines whenever I went to France, you know, like some Cosmopolitan or like girl magazines, and then I would learn French with that, always with my dictionary close by whenever I didn't understand something. And then how I maintain my Finnish. My Finnish, I do maintain it mainly by speaking to my host family, because when I was in Finland at the time, I was an exchange student, so I was in a Finnish family. And I have contact with this family until today, and from time to time we talk on the phone. That's one thing what I do with Finnish. And also sometimes I love to watch Finnish movies. They are super, super cool. Like a totally different style of movie making. If you look at Scandinavian movies, also Swedish movies, I like them really much. They always have, I find a lot of meaning. Some of these movies are very nice. And then also I like to listen to the radio. I have my favorite Finnish radio, which from time to time I listen to. And in general, I love Finnish music. I still have the CDs from when I was 16, when I was in Finland, that I listened to in my car. And yeah, in general, like all of these languages, and somewhat I can tell you how you maintain a language is you have to use it. And sometimes using means that you directly speak it, and sometimes it means that you get passive input through music, through listening or watching movies, you know, or listening to the radio. Or watching something from the TV from this country, or of course visiting these places from time to time, taking space in your schedule of going to a country and where you have friends or whatever you can do there. Many things to do in everywhere around the world. So that's really, I think, the greatest way of maintaining a language. Try to keep in touch as much as you can. And of course, these days we are so blessed with all social media stuff. That's the good aspect of it, that we can talk with our friends in different countries, and that really, really helps. So I hope this was answered the question that you asked, and please remember to support my channel and recommend it to your friends, and thank you so much for supporting. For those of you who do, Hashidile, Jeyong, to Jichi.